Hello and welcome to Paris Games here on France 24, our nightly Olympic roundup. Over the next 25 minutes, I'll be bringing you through all the latest from day 7 here in the French capital. Well, we have to start with Teddy Riner. The French legend is a gold medalist once more, winning in the heavyweight judo category. He beat South Korea's Kim Min-jong with just seconds to go to send the home crowd into delirium. It's a 4th gold medal for Riner, already established as a French legend. The 35-year-old capped his incredible career by becoming the second 3-time individual Olympic gold medalist in judo history of the Olympics. And he'll have another chance at gold tomorrow in the team event. Well, let's cross now to Club France, where Clovis Casselli is standing by for us. Clovis, it must be an incredible atmosphere there right now, especially after that Riner victory earlier on.
Absolutely, pretty unbelievable atmosphere here at Club France. Let me just show you, around 20,000 people here at La Villette. Many French supporters here, of course. It's the French headquarters. When Teddy Riner won that gold medal, people here were ecstatic, of course. And now the crowds are waiting for the swimming and Florent Manodou in the 50 meters freestyle final. It's all about power. It's all about speed, Leo, in that final. And of course, another name to watch out for later is the prodigy 22-year-old from Toulouse, Léon Marchand. And I can tell you, he's a favourite here with these crowds of supporters waiting, hoping for him to win a 4th gold medal. Léon Marchand, who's been cool-headed ever since he started these games. And honestly, Leo, when you take a look at the atmosphere here, the enthusiasm, truly Paris has caught Olympic fever.
They really have. Clovis, I want to ask you said Léon Marchand is cool ahead of tonight. What about the people there? Are they feeling confident? They must be. He breezed to his first 3 golds. Surely a 4th is a formality. How are they feeling ahead of that race?
Well, people here, supporters, are convinced Léon Marchand is going to do it, just like Teddy Riner winning that gold medal. Supporters here really believe that the young Frenchman has all the qualities to be the next Michael Phelps, that he's got that talent, that he's got that hard work values, and that he has trained hard enough in order to accomplish this. The French Swimming Federation decided that in order for Léon Marchand to be at the top of his game, if you will, he shouldn't sleep at the Olympic Village, at the Athletes Village. He's got a special flat rented for him and for a couple of other swimmers near the swimming pool in order for him to rest as much as possible. And again, here now you can hear 20,000 people or so singing Allez les Bleus, go les Bleus. And I can tell you also, tickets here are €5 per person. It's not very expensive. It's sold out, we're told, until Tuesday, and that just tells you also about the atmosphere here. The people here just waiting for a chance to celebrate again, and they believe tonight is the night with Florent Manodou. He's maybe not a favourite to win, but he could clinch a medal. But of course, later on, Léon Marchand. And last but not least, remember Les Bleus of Thierry Henry, the former Arsenal legend, the French football star. Well, Les Bleus in football are facing Argentina, and there's a quiet rivalry there also.
Clovis Casselli at Club France. We'll let you go and watch that swimming and enjoy the atmosphere there. Well, let's talk more about that wonderful Riner victory. I'm joined, as always, by our regular consultant, Karim Balde.
Good evening.
On set. Good evening. That Riner victory, stunning, was it? How did he do it? 35 years old.
Yeah.
He looks like he's got plenty left in the tank. Looks like a young man out there. How did he do it tonight?
Exactly. And this is a victory of... We can be only proud of Teddy Riner because he faced difficult times. Let's remember in some years ago, London 2012 and then Rio 2016, 2-time Olympic champion. But after what happened in 2020, I was there at the Bercy Arena when he lost for the first time in 9 years. That was such an earthquake, even in the sporting world as a whole.
Shock, wasn't it?
Yeah,
It was
that was a
complete
shock. That was a massive shock. And since then, that was very difficult. He had a knee injury prior to the Tokyo Olympics, and he tried to hide it in front of Japanese media, for example, but that couldn't make it, and he got only for Riner the bronze medal. But what he did today was unbelievable. He found a way to have new techniques and to clean up in a way his environment. He changed his coach in February of this year because Franck Charbonnier was his coach for 20 years, and his coach felt like, well, maybe he needs some fresh air before the Olympics, and so his former coach, Christian Chaumeau, went back, and he was on the chair this afternoon, on the coaching chair this afternoon. So it means that he managed to find new ways to find that motivation to go away and to win this medal in Paris, and that's the most important thing. That's the reason why he's still here, because he wanted for so long this gold medal in Paris, and mission accomplished today.
Gold medal in Paris. Let me ask you, because he did say he wants to compete in Los Angeles, where he'll be 39 years old. I mean, a lot of people would kind of roll their eyes at that, but with Riner, you can't write him off, could you? I mean, see it 4 years, looking at him tonight, it's possible, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. We never know, but his main goal was Paris 2024, and we have to be careful about statements and speeches right after victories, because there is this kind of enthusiasm surrounding that, obviously, because I don't want to imagine in terms of motivation what you got after that.
You're on the breast of a wave of victory, and you're feeling that emotion. Yeah,
exactly. But we'll see in the next days and weeks whether he wants to go that way up to 2028. Let's remember that Teddy Riner decided not to compete at every World Championships because he's 11 times world champion. Say, okay, that's enough for me. So my only goal is the Olympics. So we'll see if he can go 4 years beyond to go up to Los Angeles. I'm not quite sure personally, but let's see.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Elsewhere, it was a gold rush for Great Britain earlier on today. 3 golds in a matter of hours. First, there was Emily Craig and Imogen Grant winning the very last lightweight sculls race of the Olympic era. It was redemption for them after missing out on the podium in Tokyo by 1/100th of a second. Just after that, Bryony Page won Great Britain's first trampoline Olympic gold to complete her set of a medal of every colour. The 33-year-old who took silver in Rio for GB's first Olympic trampoline medal followed up with bronze at Tokyo 2020 before securing the ultimate prize in Paris. And finally, there was a magnificent team jumping gold, the first for Great Britain since London in 2012. The British trio of Ben Maher, Harry Charles and Scott Brash picked up just 2 time penalties to top the standings at the stunning Chateau de Versailles, with the US in second and France in third. Well, Sha'Carri Richardson launched her bid for Olympic redemption with a comfortable victory in the opening heat of the women's 100 metres at the Stade de France today. The reigning world champion aiming to become the first American since Gail Devers in 1996 to win Olympic 100-metre gold sailed through her heat in just 10.94 seconds. It could set up an amazing final against Shelley and Fraser Price, the 2008 and 2012 Olympic 100-metre gold medalist. Karim, let me bring you back in on this. We're finally into the athletics portion. Some people say that's the real Olympics. I think that's a little bit harsh. The 100 metres, Sha'Carri Richardson, that would be a hell of a redemption story for her, wouldn't it? Because she was banned, of course, for testing positive for marijuana. If she came back and won gold, that would be a hell of a story, wouldn't it?
Exactly, because America loves fairy tales. And in the case of Richardson, she got tested positive 3 years ago. And the way she decided, the way she comes back to competition, and we saw it during the US trials as well, so much motivation by overcome what happened to her and just to say, well, this time it's for me. And that's the best period, I think, for Richardson and for the US, because Jamaicans dominated sprint and 100 meters for years with, as you said, Shady and Fraser Price, but also with Ellen Thompson. And Ellen Thompson won't be there in Paris because she was injured in July with an Achilles tendon injury. So the Olympic champion of 2021 is not here, and that's the best chance for Richardson this year. And personally, I would like to see Marie-Josée Tadou from Côte d'Ivoire on the podium because she was 2 times at the 4th position.
And she was very fast this morning.
Exactly, she was very fast during the hits this morning. And that would be great for her because each time, place 4 or place 5 at the last 3 Olympics. So I hope that she will this time go onto the podium. But it's going to be tough because there are so many contenders in the 100 meters on the female side, but also on the male side.
And apart from the 100 metres, just athletics in general, are there many French hopes? Of course, that's not where France normally excel. Do they have any hopes in the athletics?
Well, since the retirement, since Kevin Mayer was out because of an injury, there are a few chances, let's be honest with that. But maybe we can gamble on Serena Samba Mayela on the 110 meters. It's going to be later on this week or next week, I suppose. But yeah, she was the indoor world champion and then she won the European Championships gold medal. So she will be on the hurdles, very, very tough. And then, well, it's hard to see other contenders. Maybe Thibaut Collet for the pole vault or maybe Gabriel Toile on the 800 meters. But really, that's it. And we see many, many French athletes who discover that level of competition in Paris. It's great for them, but it's not enough to earn medals. So, well, I'd say maybe the relays, maybe the 4 times 400 meters in the last days of the program, maybe. But, well, if France earns at least 1 medal, just 1 medal in athletics, it will be fine for them, I think.
And will they? Short answer, will they? Yes or no? I'm putting you on the spot.
Yes, because they're at home.
Okay, you heard it here first. Karin Bowler has guaranteed at least 1 medal for the French in the athletics. Well, millions of tourists have flocked to Paris for these Olympic Games, but early feedback suggests that it hasn't been the economic windfall that many restaurant owners and taxi drivers were hoping for. So, will these games really boost the city's economy? Antonia Kerrigan attempts to answer that question.
With Olympic venues packed out to the rafters, the world's 5th most visited city has managed to up its game this year. 20% more tourists visiting the metropolis this July than last July, including 15% more French tourists. Hotel occupancy peaked at 90% on the opening weekend of the Games, now down to 82%, but with prices still far higher than usual. But other sectors who hope to capitalise haven't seen the windfall they were expecting. For instance, with the Olympics laying on cars to transport VIPs and free shuttles in certain places for stadium goers, taxi drivers have been waiting hours to find customers.
This month, we've suffered a loss of 40 to 50%, so we can't even cover our costs.
Taxi drivers' unions have lodged a request for government compensation. Another damper on the much-heralded boom, tourists with one eye on the budget.
We've noticed that Olympic tourism is mostly backpack tourism. I say that without any negative connotation. They've spent a lot on transport to get here, on transport to get around Paris, on their accommodation and their tickets. So there isn't much left for food.
Restaurants in the city centre have seen an uptick in customers since the lifting of widespread road closures around the opening ceremony, but they say they are far from reaching capacity. On Thursday, the government looked to reassure, promising longer-term economic benefits.
In London, there was an uptick in tourism for 4, 5, 6 years after the Games. And when we see the image of Paris and France that we're showing the world with our Olympic venues in the heart of the city, in beautiful locations, we can obviously expect benefits for our tourism and our economy in the years to come.
Neighbourhoods around Olympic venues are of course benefiting from the inrush of tourists, like here in La Villette and Seine-Saint-Denis.
Well, Karim, you're from here. You grew up in Saint-Denis, is that right? So you're from here, you lived here all your life. What's it been like outside of the sport? As a Parisian, or nearly Paris, what's it been like, these games?
It depends on where you are in Paris, to be honest, because in Saint-Denis, in as we call the suburbs, the poor suburbs of Paris, well, it's hard to feel that Olympic spirit, even in the neighborhood of the Franc-Voisin, which is just on the other side of the canal on the other side of the Stade de France, well, it's hard to feel it. But once you are on the Olympic venues or in the fan zones, there are so many fan zones around Paris and Saint-Denis and like one of the other cities nearby Paris. At those points, you can feel that Olympic spirit. But what was said in this feature is that, well, Gabriel Attal, it's funny because French government say for a while, well, you will see economic benefits from the Olympics. And now he says, well, you will see that later on, maybe in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. And that's
so is he just pushing it further and further down the line?
Exactly, because the reality is that Paris is empty at some parts because so many people were frightened to be trapped into this Olympic spirit with packed transportation. For example, we know that the Paris transit system is, well, it's complicated. So, well, so many people decided to go away, and Paris seems a little bit empty because of those security measures as well, and especially before the opening ceremony. So now it's a weird feeling. You have this Olympic spirit. Obviously, there are so many people gathering from around the world, and that's cool. But on the other side, you see empty streets, empty restaurants sometimes, and even to travel from my suburb Sunday to here, France 24, usually I do an hour, and it goes so fast because roads are also empty.
It's interesting. Do you think we're getting to maybe the stage when no one wants to host the games because it costs so much money to put on these games, so much money, and it maybe isn't profitable in the long term? Are we getting to that stage where no one's going to want to host the Olympic Games?
That was what the IOC was afraid of, the International Olympic Committee, and that's why they decided to give the next Olympics to Paris and Los Angeles at the same time. There were tough negotiations between Paris and Los Angeles to know who will host 2024, but that was the main goal. That was the competition at first, but other cities decided not to go further, like Hamburg, for example, Germany. So that's the reality. Now it's hard. We remember tough competition in the years 90 and the 90s and the year 2000 to get the Olympics, but now it seems that this mindset is over, and the first city who wants to go forward, that city will take the Olympics. We saw it on the Winter Olympics as well with Milan 2026 and the French Alps in 2030. You have no competition to...
It's only one candidate for each games, and they get
only.
Games.
And even if you have two candidates, they will try to find arrangements to give like visibility as well to planify those expenses, because it's so expensive that you have to plan that for almost a decade now.
Yeah, well... It's the day after the night before for Andy Murray. The Scots' illustrious career came to an end yesterday after he crashed out of the men's doubles. Murray is a two-time Olympic gold medalist to go with his 3 Grand Slams, and today he sat down to talk about the end of what was a legendary career.
Well, yeah, I guess it's just nice to have that sort of closure. I mean, also for me to get to do it at an Olympics as well, and you know, the run that we had was, I think, exciting. Like, we came back from some sort of improbable kind of situations in the matches, and yeah, obviously yesterday was, you know, it was a disappointing end. We would have liked to have given ourselves a chance at a medal, but didn't play well enough, unfortunately. And yeah, it was obviously sad leaving the court for the last time, but happy. You know, ultimately, like, I'm glad I got to finish my career on my own terms, you know, on court in front of, you know, a brilliant crowd. Yeah, it is difficult, and, you know, I think it's very personal as well. Like, you know, and I feel like in the last few years, like, a lot of the guys that have been up at the top of the game, you know, have been asked that question, like, a lot, like, when are you going to retire, and, you know, when is the right time? And it's not always that helpful because, you know, the athletes maybe don't know themselves, and I don't think there isn't a perfect ending, and there's no right way for everyone. You know, it's going to be different for each person. I was there when Roger finished playing, and, you know, seeing him competing in doubles alongside Rafa was an amazing ending, but not one that many people would have expected for, you know, Federer's last match. And, you know, for me, like, the Olympics has been an unbelievably special event to me, and, you know, although I made my living playing singles, like, to do it on the doubles court with, you know, with Dan, who's been a friend of mine for many years, and, you know, have not a fairy tale ending, like which would have been winning a medal, but having a brilliant run has been really special. Being surrounded by all of my teammates and having my friends and family here has been really nice.
Well, we heard earlier from our reporter Clovis Cassely at Club France, and one unique aspect of these games is the so-called houses dotted around the city, set up by different countries' delegations, where lucky visitors can enjoy screenings, collect merchandise, and maybe even rub shoulders with some of the athletes. The houses that are open to the public range from free to very expensive. Clovis took a tour of the South Korean house earlier on. Have a look.
Korea House is in a beautiful 18th century hôtel particulier, a mansion in Paris. In the gardens, you have a giant screen, of course, to watch live the events of the Olympic Games. Today, many people have come to watch archery, where South Korea is the best team in the world. Behind me, of course, street food stands to have lunch or dinner. And inside you have even a room where visitors can try traditional South Korean outfits, and they're very popular.
C'est super confortable.
It's really comfy. It's nice and beautiful.
We're happy to discover this culture that we only really see on our screens usually. We're immersing ourselves a little. It's great.
It makes us very proud to show our Korean culture. With the Hallyu wave, the Korean wave, a lot of foreigners come here to try our food, clothes and other things.
Now let me take you to another room, the K-culture one. K-pop music here and cinema. Korean culture celebrated, and it has fans around the world, not just in Asia, of course. Here you have various entertainment, video games, and a photo booth, slightly unusual. Well, that's it. I've got my pictures with the badminton stars from South Korea. Clearly a good souvenir from the Paris 2024 Games and of Korea House.
Well, in the last few seconds, we've heard the news that Léon Marchand is a four-time Olympic gold medalist. He's won the 200-metre medley. Karim, let me bring you in. What more is there to say about Léon Marchand? This is an achievement that, of course, we hoped for before these games, but it's far beyond what we really expected, isn't it?
Yeah, it's far beyond, because we expected from Marchand to win the 400 meters medley. That's what he did on his first race. But since then, that's just exceptional. I mean, we could expect medals, silver medal, finally won gold medal, silver medal or bronze medal. Well, he decided to get the gold medal, and that, once again, I mean, this is, wow. We are lacking words. We have to find a way to
We have to try
create.
because we're on TV.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. You're right. That's our job, to find words on that.
Yeah.
But that's exceptional. That's amazing. That's amazing, because the way he won today as well that's exceptional. He was a little bit behind in the first 50 meters, but then since the backstroke, he was in front, and other contenders knew that that was a done deal for Léon Marchand. And I think the crowd as well, they knew it, and he can just enjoy that moment. It's hard to say, it's unbelievable to say, but he can enjoy the last 50, sometimes 100 meters, because he knows that he's so much in advance.
And he's got the crowd. And
he's got the crowd, and so he's so in advance that, well, he can do whatever he wants. He will have this gold medal, 4 times Olympic champion, and there will be maybe a fifth medal with the team event as well, with the relays. I think it's going to be on tomorrow or Sunday. But, well, that's just amazing. Really, that's amazing.
4 gold medals. No one's ever done that before in one Games for France. No one had even won 3 in one Games for France.
And to mix medley, to mix other disciplines as well, is just unbelievable.
Yeah, it is. Stunning achievement
from
Léon Marchand. We haven't heard the last from him because he's only 22.
Yeah.
So,
He can have like maybe 1 or 2 or 3 more Olympic Games to play in, and we'll see where he can go. But we talked about Riner, but Riner was on several Olympics, but Marchand on those Paris Games to win 4 gold medals. For French people, I mean, when we remember what happened in Tokyo, sometimes we struggle just to have a single medal a day, And when we see Marchand, it seems so easy to get gold medals, but it's not, because that's a lot of work. Even on his wave, for example, under the water, the way the technique he has to be in front after waving down on the sea, on the water, is just unbelievable. His whole body is shaking, his whole body is waving like that, and then he is able to gain marginal gains to be in front at the end, and that's unbelievable. That's awesome.
A quick question about Florent Manodou as well, because bronze medal for him. He was 5th in the heats. Of course, the flag bearer of France. He's been kind of the poster boy of French swimming, male poster boy of French swimming for such a long time. Bronze, will he be happy with that at his home games?
Yes, definitely, because he came back. Remember, before Tokyo, he came back from a first retirement and he decided to play handball, and then he decided to come back to the swimming pool. So this is great for Florent Manodou to get a 3rd medal in a very highly competitive race on this 50-meter freestyle. And he was a flag bearer, but now he has less pressure because of Léon Marchand. Because let's remember that in Tokyo, he was the only medalist for France in swimming. And that was a disappointment for French swimming, but Manodou was the only one to bear that burden. And now he was very free. Even in the stands, the last days before competing himself, he was relaxed, and he said it. He was relaxed, and with a relaxed way of life, he can be in 3rd position. But congratulations for Florent Manodou, because his career is lasting now for a while, and we know that in swimming pool it can be very short. Sometimes at 25 years old you can be like in a burnout. So congratulations to him.
Congratulations to him. Bronze for him. We just have enough time to show you the photo of the day. This is the men competing in the 100-meter sprint section of the decathlon earlier on today at the Stade de France. What a photo. Really shows the speed of the men. You can just about make out the US runner in the middle, Harrison Williams. Apart from that, just a bunch of blurs, really. Well, we're out of time. Karim Belde, thank you very much, and thank you for watching. We'll be back on Monday. In the meantime, stay tuned for more world news on France 24 in just a few minutes' time.